crafty friends, Amanda here with Crafting with Amanda. Welcome to May I Scraplift You May. My first scrap lift is the fabulous Jama Malmi. A while back I had been rolling dice to choose what photos that I scrapbook, and I had rolled to do this big batch of photos from our home in California. So I've gone through, as you can see maybe, and I've kind of separated them into groups, or at least some into groups. And I thought for today I would focus on the family room. This is part of the process that my husband and I did. The floor had been brought up over this brick, and I don't know, there's a brick pad here, and then there underneath here was also a step coming out of the main house, and we were going to open up the wall here between the main part of the house, or this is the kitchen area, and this room. So we decided that we would do that part of it. We thought it was something that we could handle, and there was also some weird things that were, or unknowns I should call it, and just we like to be able to handle that. So I have lots of photos, which is great, and so today I'm going to scrap lift a layout that Jama Malmi did, and her video originally posted on, I believe, February 7th, could be the 11th, but in early February, and I will have that link down below, so if you want to check out how she did this video. But she had, I want to say, little smaller photos, but she had 3 of them along. I'll put a picture up here for you. But she also had flip-flaps, and with how many photos I have and the fact that all of these orientations are up and down, flip-flaps will work perfectly for this. So let's see what we have to go on. I need to find some papers first, but this is the Strawberry Mice. There is a national scrapbooking project that uses this, and it makes some cards out of it. I will have that link, and then I can show you a picture here as well. But I thought that I would use these mice. The whole story of that is that we had mice when they were doing the rest of the house. If we didn't cover the holes that they put in the floor for putting plumbing in and other things, we actually had mice come up into the house because we were living in the house while it was being demoed. So these are cute mice. The ones we had in the house were not, but I thought that for all of my pictures, not all of, but for the ones showing kind of the remodel, I'm going to use these as part of my embellishments. So let me grab some papers, pick some colors. I'll probably go through and pick papers that'll work with a lot of these, just so that I can kind of keep a theme or a thread going in my album. I'll be back. All right, this was an easy paper search. I am back with the Hey Handsome collection, and I know I was actually looking for things that might have had some red in them, more because of like the pink insulation, but the more I looked at this paper and thought about it with the mice, I just thought this would work. I'm not planning necessarily to use the strawberries. The Hey Handsome digital art collection has tools in it, as you can see here, but I thought maybe I can have this mouse like holding a tool to hand. This kind of has the same thing, so I'm excited about this. The colors in this, like here we have, this looks, it says it's Black Harbor, Mink, Paprika, oh, Pine, Rosemary, and White. So this must be pine with a polka dot kind of grid pattern. And then on the back is the Harbor Blue Plaid. And then here, this is kind of a, it looks like a fabric, kind of like what you would see on a couch in blacks and gray tone. The back side of it is the stripes with the paprika, pine, harbor, all of the colors are in here, and the white daisy. And I know this is, oh, there's a strawberry there. That's funny. We might have to figure out how to use that with my strawberries. I know I have photos of our first meal here. We ate outside on the patio one night, so maybe that will go with that. I know this is going back to more for like cars or even lumberjack kind of theme, rugged kind of stuff, but I think these will work really well for my photos. And then here's the stickers that come with it, and I won't show these every time that I use this paper pack, but now that I've chosen this, and I really do think it's going to go well with these photos, you'll get to see how we incorporate all of these things as well as the digital files. Oh, I'm excited. Here I'm going to show you with this Strawberry Mice. It's a campaign special for National Scrapbooking Month. And so National Scrapbooking Day, which is Friday and Saturday, or actually Saturday this week, May 5th or 6th. I think it's May 6th. Close to my heart will be showing you how they created cute little cards with these mice. And if you want any of that information, it'll be in the description below the video. So Close to My Heart does not want me to show you how to use their stamped images to cut with my Scan and Cut. So I went online and found these clip art mice and I printed them out, and then I'm just showing you here what I do. You start with cut, direct cut right to the machine. You can change if you want to have it a color representation and how big of an area you want it to scan. I'm just doing 12 by 6. This is just a real quick, I do have a video that takes this slower, but it just shows you here that you can see the 3 objects. Sometimes there's extra little marks that'll be on the screen that you don't want it to cut just because it adds extra time. But I just wanted to look at here and see what my outline is by using the magnifying glass, and then I go into edit and I just flip through, and there's only 3 images that are going to be cut, and those are the 3 mice that were there. So this was pretty easy. I didn't have to delete any extra cuts. So I go into cut, start the cut, and here we go. And now while we watch this cut is a good time to ask you to give a thumbs up. It doesn't cost you anything to tell YouTube that you like this video. And that's true for all of the channels that you watch. So now that the Scan and Cut is almost done, I will take those off the mat, and I don't unload the mat, I just take them off. And the Scan and Cut comes with this tool. I do have the Cricut spatula as well, but this plastic one tends to bend the paper less. I did just print right on regular standard typing paper or printer paper, so cardstock comes off a little easier. And then I want to show you, because I do this with my mice, is I wanted to make a border around them. And so I go back and I edit the cut so that my border around is 0.04. And you can do that as big or as little as you want. I just wanted to show you what the 0.04 offset does when you cut it out here. As you can see, all of the supplies and tools that I use are listed below. I am going to have soon a quick video of a new tool that I found to help make using the MISTI easier, so be on the lookout for. I want to jump back over to the stamp set, the Strawberry Mice, as there are a few places on the stamps themselves that it's not a continuous line, and so just with my pencil before I put it in the Scan and Cut, I do close those lines so that I get a cleaner cut on my mice. And then looking at what Jama did with her layout, I am just trying to make a plan here. I went ahead and matted all of my photos with white, actually French vanilla, I believe. Maybe it's white daisy. And I'm going to go ahead and cut the center out of the pine cardstock just so that I can use it for mats and whatnot on the photos. And because I have so many photos, but I don't want to do a whole album, I just want to kind of do, let's say 8 to 12 layouts telling the story, because it was a significant part of our lives. And then one of the things that I'm doing is I went to the Hey Handsome digital collection on Close to My Heart, and I'm going to show you how once you purchase it, how you can load it into your Cricut and use those tools. The first thing that you need to do to get those SVG files is go into Account, log in, and then under Account you'll go to Digital Library, and you can see here there's a blue download button. So pick which set you want to download, and you will download those to your computer and put them in a file that you know where to reach them. I have a whole folder that's just Digital Library, and then within that folder all the individual sets. So here I chose the saw and I am set upload, and then I give it a name, so I give it the name of the collection. I went back through and loaded all of the rest of these, the saw, the screwdriver, the hammer. But I want to cut all of them, so I'm selecting all of them, I'm loading them to my canvas, and that's really it. So order the image set, download it from your account's digital library, then you're going to, for Cricut, go into Cricut, upload, choose the images that you want to upload, and you can describe them however you want to save them. You don't have to do that step, I just like to do that for later. And then because I'm cutting out such small pieces, I don't want to load 7 mats with the 7 different colors. So I went ahead and rearranged the images on my mat so that, as you can see, it cut them. You have to unload the mat and then reload the same mat, but I'm not having full sheets that I'm putting in. And then as I was trying to figure out what title to do and to kind of have the same feel that Jema had in her layout, I found this wonderful stamp set in my collection, Framework Alphabet. I'm sure it's retired, but from the Scan and Cut, I scanned the stamped letters and then I made a .04 frame in the paprika color and then a .08 frame. Actually, let me step that back. I made a .04 frame outside of the original stamped letters, then a .08 for the paprika layer, and a .12 for the pine layer, so that it has 3 layers for this title. And you can kind of see the direction I'm going here, that it kind of is the same or similar to where Jema went. And I needed something, that's why I used the star zip strip, to have something for the mice to be on and the tools to kind of anchor themselves. I did have to change to 2 photos on each side because 3 was just too wide. It took up too much of the page, and I wasn't able to find balance. And then as I was looking at it, there was just a lot of white area. So with the background element stamp, I took Toffee ink, and as you can see, I'm just kind of making paintbrush strokes randomly on the page. And I know some of it, actually most of them, are going to be covered with the banner ends that I cut out of the Hey Handsome cardstock. But again, you can kind of get a feel for where I'm going based on what Jema did on her layout. I was showing you how I attach my flip flaps. I basically put them where I need to be and hold them down, and then remove the tape while I'm holding the rest of the flip flap down, and then I know it's going to be exactly where I want it. Jema had done some splatter effect on her layout, as well as she did the whole outside of hers is random stamped. So her video will be linked below, or will be in the description below. So if you want to see what she did versus what I did, you can do that. But anyhow, with those splatters, I just felt that I needed to have something like that. So I went back to my stash and I had these black die cuts that were from a retired paper kit or collection, and the asterisks or stars were just perfect. So then I knew for journaling, Jema had put a tag behind her photo, and I wanted to also have that. So I had thought about doing 2 little tags along the edge, but then realized I just had too big of a story to share. So I went to my computer and typed it up, and then as you can see, it's a trifold, but I don't necessarily need it to accordion out the whole way. So I put it on a tag that I just made out of Toffee cardstock, and to give the tag something interesting more, just so it's not so plain, I am grabbing that little mouse and gonna stamp it so it's kind of running up the side of the tag. Which part of the story and the reason why we're using mice in this layout, and actually with probably the rest of these photos that show renovation, is we unfortunately had mice and rats come up into the home if we didn't cover the holes in the floors that the construction workers made. So anytime a contractor came and did work, if they cut a new hole or something, we would go and find lumber or totes, literally taking totes from our garage because we still had boxes from moving, and put them over top of the holes just to prevent the critters from coming in. So we did have a farm in Michigan, and I know some people are probably really squeamish about this, but when you have a farm and you have hay, you have mice. So they, to me, no, I don't want them in my home, but I'm not squeamish about them. You just prevent them from coming in and all is well. And here I'm showing you, because I have flip flaps on both pages, how I go ahead and some people attach the flip flaps to the page protectors. I like to attach it to my page as I create it. And then just as you saw here, you kind of mark the beginning and end of where those flip flaps need to be. I'm taking the photo out so I don't have to bend it bend the photo, I can just bend the flip flap and then it'll feed right through that slit that I made. And I have multiple, like I'll end up making one big long slit because of the 2 flip flaps, but I just wanted to show you if you just have the one, how easy it is to do that. And then the same thing for the tag. I need something for it to be able to interact so that people can get to it and see the journaling. So leaving the tag in a main place that I want, I just went ahead and cut the slit, and then it you can interact with it from the outside of the page protector. So this is my take on Jayma Malmy's fantastic layout, and I hope you like it. I'm looking forward to moving ahead and getting these photos done of our California home. It's kind of interesting seeing all the progress. This is the one room, the family room, that my husband and I decided we would take on and do ourselves. This is how you can connect with me. All that information will be below the video in the description. If you want to help me out, I'll remind you to give me a thumbs up again, please. Here's another video you may be interested in. Have a blessed day. Thank you.